Realtor.
I'm Ashley LeRae.
And I'm Taisha Renee.
And we're coming back with a brand new episode for you guys. How are you?
I'm lit.
Blessed and highly favored.
So, you guys, this episode is very, very exciting for us to talk about, right? So, it's that season.
Where they spend a check for no reason.
That too. Before a reason.
That check for no reason.
No, we're going to spend a check for a reason.
Period.
Okay. That's what season it is.
And that season is where buyers are really having it their way. Let's talk about it.
Yes,
y'all
buyers,
time.
it's your time. This market is for you.
What a time to be alive.
I was bringing
what a
up that
time to be a
time
buyer.
when we were talking about there's this market that they tell us about where buyers can get what they want. I hope I can see it. Well, we've seen it. We're living it. It's now.
And it came quick.
Right. And it's crazy because we still get those messages from people where they're still scared about the market. They're still scared to invest in real estate. So today's episode is going to be about how we're going to walk through these fears that we hear about people messaging us about, and what you have to do to actually leave these fears in 2022.
Please.
Leaving us into the past.
You
We'll
ain't gotta
let
be
y'all leave it
scared.
in February, but like
Right.
starting March 1, like it's a wrap.
Because the people that bought last year are
Hello.
really, okay, like toward like the
up.
end, they're up, okay? And it's so many deals, especially in my real estate page. I really focus on these deals that buyers are taking advantage of right now. So we're going to talk about those fears.
Let's do it. Let's jump into it.
So the first one that I hear, I feel like is very, very popular, is people being scared of getting pre-approval or not being pre-approved at all, or it's just like the amount of the pre-approval that they can qualify for.
Yeah. That is something I've been seeing. I recently had a buyer who she got pre-approved for a larger amount last year, and now this time has come around and that amount has decreased, which is not new. It happens when there's a lower interest rate. Of course, you get pre-approved for more.
Way more.
If it's at 2%, you can probably purchase a $500,000 house at that point. But now that the interest rates are more stable and they're normal and they're at that 6%, maybe now you're getting pre-approved for $300,000, which is still a good purchasing power. But of course, when you feel like, oh, I could have purchased a $500,000 house, now I have to purchase a $300,000 house. Of course, that can discourage them. They feel like, oh my God, can I not get the quality home that I want? But in that price point, me personally, I think you can get a really nice house.
Right.
For
I
$300,000.
I absolutely do too. I think a lot of people have this stigma, like if I'm not approved for $500,000 or more, I'm living in the shack. I'm living in the trenches.
We are not in LA.
But the trenches be fun too. But like we'll get back to that.
Yeah, it's all about your vision.
But I tell people this all the time. Y'all know I'm super big on like buying and building up, right? I bought my house on a very, very low salary from a job I was working just around the way. And my pre-approval was probably about $300,000 or $400,000 lower than what I would have been approved on my real estate salary because I didn't have my documentation. And I bought a house, I fixed it and I flipped it, and I feel like I live in a new construction.
Exactly.
Right.
But then you also can purchase a new construction or even below $300,000.
Exactly.
Don't feel, because some people, they don't want to purchase a home and have to do work. Me personally, I didn't want to do any work. I wanted to just move in and that thing to be ready.
Right.
You know what's
So
crazy?
there are options for that.
Everybody in Atlanta, when they buy a home, they want to live in Buckhead. They want to live in
Right,
Chicago.
in
So
the
they're trying to
city.
move now because they be
No, but they want their mortgage to be $1,200.
Yes.
The limit
Have to
don't
be
That's it
positive.
right there.
Yeah.
That's it right there. I feel like from my point of view, when people get scared about pre-approval, it really has to do with knowledge, about research. Because when we get a buyer that actually comes in, they know that, and it's three things, right? They know that their credit score is enough, above a 580. They know that they make the right income, right? And they know that they've been employed for 2 years. It's really not they're not really scared to move forward with the pre-approval. They kind of just go ahead and do it. So I feel like for people who are scared, it's because you feel like you lack something or lack knowledge on the process or on the or what needs to be required. So for my tip to really for people out there that are interested in buying, but they've just been in their head for so long, is to just reach out.
Schedule a consult, and we can talk about it.
Exactly.
I'm super big on the fact that it's not a no. Just maybe not right now.
It's never no.
Even if you're not ready, like I may have a client who reaches out to me and they're not ready to purchase a home till a year from now. I still say it doesn't hurt to go ahead and do your pre-approval or do a mortgage application now.
I kid you not.
Yeah, let's see where you're at right now. And if you don't like the pre-approval amount, that's fine. we'll submit more documents in a year when you're ready and increase the number. Like,
and also in the instance where you have that long foresight of when you want to move in, speaking to a lender can be resourceful, because if there is something that you're lacking, like for example, I've had many clients who've come and they have a long period in which they can purchase, and my lender will literally break down what you can do to get your credit score to this point. You know, he'll be like, if you pay this card, sometimes you don't have to pay your stuff down all the way. If you pay it down to this amount, we can get your score from, 590 to 610. Like, they give you this plan and they give you a strategy to work towards, so that when you are ready, between that 60 to 90 of you moving in, you are at the perfect position to do so.
Getting pre-approved early is literally the perfect demonstration of proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yes.
Like, waiting to the very last minute to get pre-approved and then getting the news you don't want.
Right.
You don't have enough time to put that plan of action in place. But if you do it 8 months in advance and it's like, okay, you need to clear up this amount of that amount of that to get you where you want, now you really got some leg room to do it. So do it now. Don't wait. Like,
there is nothing worse, like you said, than if you know that your lease is up in 90 days and you got to tell your leasing office and you get denied for a mortgage, and now you looking and you don't know what to do.
Now
You got to rent month to month.
You're
Now your rent is
homeless.
increased a little bit. Now you
that
got to
is
do
so
6
bad.
Look, y'all
months.
nicer than me. I'm talking about you're homeless.
The time is really now, because you never know what the market is going to be, in 90 days, in 60 days. I feel like you have to kind of get prepared to have those conversations. So great tip, ladies. Great tip.
They apply for everything else online. Just go
Okay,
ahead and do the mortgage
we're going to
application.
get to that. We're going
That
to
was
get
a
to
plan
that.
for Beyonce concert.
Okay, the girls went crazy for that.
You know how we like
now
to
y'all talking about me.
No, for
what's
real,
next?
because people will happily apply for a Macy's card. They will happily apply for a laser. I've seen it. The laser.
Not the
movement.
laser.
Not
And
again.
get their credit.
Y'all
Not the
pumping
BBL.
BBL.
Better getting that care credit.
They applying for a car
Right.
loan, anything.
Right.
For sure.
But then when it comes to a house, they're like, hold on, wait, I don't want them to.
Right. Granted, it's a huge
Right.
investment, but it's the investment that's worth it.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen the meme where it's like girls be scared to present in front of the class but be twerking online? Like,
Ashley, is that you? Is that you, Ashley?
like, why are you scared right now when it counts the most? Come on
You're
now.
funny. You're funny. Okay, so that was one. And then another one, I think we got a question on that, is basically the interest rate. People always ask about the interest rate.
Look
like,
at me. What's
Look,
that?
you had
What's
me-
that author
the
meme with the
author.
fence?
Why are y'all scared? And I'm not gonna ask why, because we know where y'all are scared. I say this all the time. I'm really big on this interest rate thing. If y'all let this interest rate scare y'all out of buying, y'all really gonna trick yourselves into getting like the worst possible deal ever. Refinance. Like, let's just talk
Period.
about that. When you get into an interest rate when you purchase your home, that is not the end all be all interest rate. If you get into a 7% today, and God forbid, but let's say we do go into a global pandemic in a year from now and they drop back to 2.2%, guess what? You can refinance.
Okay, I can't wait.
I
Now
cannot
wait. Slow down,
be
load it
real.
up. I do not want that to happen. But you can refinance and get that 2.2% interest rate. Now you're back. But if you wait until the house prices drop, interest rates drop, waiting on all these different things, it's like you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. Like,
Because now you back to multiple offers.
Yeah.
Now you're
Right.
back
Now
to
you
no
can't get
closing
nothing.
calls.
Right.
Now you can't get nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
And I feel like when people, I don't know, for some reason people see interest rates on the news, or they see interest rates and on social media, and they just see like
And the
horror
articles
movie.
can really
Right.
be misleading. They can
Yeah.
really be
Yeah.
scary.
Because it's
And I
all
be
numbers and like big
yeah.
words, and people are like, oh my God, no. Like prices
are rising.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just propaganda. It's marketing. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. They want to steer people away from buying because they know it's a good investment. And almost like one of y'all has said this before, like, you can't change your rent, but you can change your mortgage.
Okay.
Whatever your rent is, you got to pay that for 12 months.
And I'm glad you said that, because that goes into our tip in telling you how to really finesse this interest rate fear that you guys have.
Come on
Which
now.
has to do with your interest rate. You can really buy down,
Yes.
right?
What is that for those who don't know?
Okay, so a buy down is a method that lenders use, where the buyer can potentially, of course, invest in putting that rate down. So buy discount points in order for the rate to be lower. Of course, it has a cap based on your credit and all other things, but definitely a buy down is the ability to actually buy down your rates
Right.
with
cash.
For example,
cash.
if
For
they
the
give you a
seller's cash.
6%,
right for
for the sellers can pay for it. So for example, if you have a 6%, they'll be like, oh, if you pay X amount of dollars, we can drop it a point to 5%, basically.
And that 1% will really change your mortgage.
Yeah,
that 1% will
significantly.
get you where you want to be sometimes. And like we said, buyers, this y'all market. Make the seller pay for it.
Right,
Like,
right.
don't come out of your pocket for it. This is a market where you guys can really negotiate that. Well, we can negotiate.
Right, for you.
But it's like the options are literally all there. Yes, rates are high, but your rent is higher.
Okay, pick your poison. Don't forget, new construction communities, they are offering that 4.99. What's stopping you?
Exactly.
I seen a 3.99.
When you see that, send it to
I'm
me.
not gonna lie, I seen a 2.99.
Oh, it's getting real.
I'm gonna say out of community. It was in DeKalb County.
Send me the community.
Hold on
What?
now.
That's crazy. They
But
need
that's
to
why preparation is important.
Yeah,
Real
and
bad.
information as well. Being knowledgeable about the process, because there's so many ways around it.
Right.
It's so many ways around it.
And of
because
course, you can have the seller pay for it. But if you have the cash and your savings, you can pay that down yourself if you want to.
But we want the
We don't want
But
you
of course,
to.
we want the seller
We want the
to.
seller.
right now, we want the seller.
Right now, this is y'all time to shine.
That's
Sellers,
what you can do. Be thankful we're purchasing this home.
No,
right
I'm
now.
with you.
If
Sellers
you go on
have
the
their
market
time.
for 42 days.
Okay. No, listen.
sellers, y'all had y'all chance and y'all blew it.
Okay. Now I ain't playing fair. I want this and that.
Right, because last year they really ran us through the mud.
Okay, they tried.
We couldn't
Yeah.
ask for
Highest and best.
Anything.
Okay.
So if you're watching this a year later from a recording and the sellers ain't budging, just pay it yourself.
Yeah.
That's good. So interest rates, again, you know, you have your ways around it. You can shop around lenders, like so many ways, but definitely contact one of us so we can better advise you on how to work around it.
And the biggest thing is if you prepare, if you have a high enough credit score, your interest rate is going to be lower. So someone who has a 580, your interest rate is going to be much higher than someone who has like a 640 or a 700.
Yeah.
So get your
Definitely.
score up too.
Ooh. Get your score up.
Get your money. Get your cookies
We're
up.
going to talk about that. So the third fear I feel like that's like in the middle that people are really worried about is low inventory. Y'all know people love Zillow. For some reason, that's where they stay and they live there.
Y'all know Zillow be capping.
Zillow is renting
is a big
condos in
cap.
y'all head.
Zillow, Redfin, Open Door, all of them.
Yeah, so we have access as realtors to way much more inventory than what you see online. So if you never reach out, never start the process, you're just going to psych yourself out of it.
I tell people this all the time. Zillow is literally just a tool to kind of like get you to utilize their resources because Zillow has their own lender. Zillow has like their own insurance. They have all these third-party companies that they work with, and they're really just setting their site up so they can trick you into using that. It's not really for you to see what's going on in the market. Like I've had several people call me this week and say, "Oh, I went on Zillow and the Zestimate said I went on Zillow and it told me my mortgage was gonna be." Yeah, babe. What you didn't know is that Zillow had all this other stuff that just kind of lied to you. Like that's how it is with that's how it is with the inventory though. Like you go on Zillow and you put in homes in Atlanta. I know y'all don't think Zillow just scraped up every single home that's on the market. That's not how that works. That's why you reach out to a realtor. We put you on the MLS. We give y'all real life access to these things. Like inventory, I don't know. I feel like it's low, but it ain't to the flow.
It's not to the
It's
flow.
not.
No,
There's some
it's
good
not at
stuff
all.
out there,
It's
especially
some
new
good
construction.
stuff.
Wow, new construction is really
Building
booming
right now.
booming
Yeah,
for
It's
sure.
booming right now.
Resale,
They're building.
The house is little. They're there, but you know we can get some better ones. But that new construction,
The new construction is
time
right
It's
now.
on
booming.
fire.
It is on fire.
in every price point, literally 200, 300, 400, 500,
Millions.
millions.
Hello. What them buys it?
Very true. And doesn't Zillow have a lawsuit right now?
Always. Don't they
Something
always got a
really
lawsuit?
big.
Zillow ain't scared of y'all. They got
They
that
ain't
money.
scared. They still gonna make their money.
And I think it was about lying to buyers and sellers. They were kind of tricking them into like doing something. It turns out that they were actually losing money.
Right.
So they can't be trusted.
Actually,
They definitely can't be.
She
just
gonna always had
funny.
a T in the real estate
yeah,
streets,
she
okay?
got a T. She's
No,
paying
I
attention.
think
I love
low
that.
inventory though. I don't think that's a problem that we really face with right now. I think when those interest rates were at 1% and all of that crazy stuff,
Everybody wants to sell their house.
that's when inventory was low because there was even more like the buying pool was so thick. You have much more competition. Right now, you kind of have room. Like I had a client shopping on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. She's like, "We'll make a decision Sunday."
Yes.
Like, you have that luxury
Yes.
to like shop around, look like being scared of low inventory. That's not even a thing. You
That's
made
not
that
even
up.
a thing.
You made
psyching
it up.
yourself
For
out.
what?
You made it up.
Because there's a new thing now. I've been shopping expired listings.
Oh,
Ooh,
don't tell them
you didn't sell your house, but I got a buyer.
Okay.
You still want to sell?
No, seriously. Look, we just gave y'all a super.
Oh my God, so many gems.
That's
There's
the thing.
Yeah, that is.
Let me go ahead on them Inspire. Listen tonight before this episode
you know,
drops.
seriously.
Because what?
Withdrawn too.
Child,
Listen,
I am
so much more ways, but we have access to those things. This is why you need to hire real estate professional.
Yeah. So definitely right now with the interest rates being like 5%, 6%, there's a ton of inventory. So you guys shouldn't be scared of that.
I told you I made that one up.
Yeah, that was a
Big
lie.
news.
Yeah.
Big news. Okay, so the next thing is when I was thinking about it, it's just like people scaring themselves out because of their savings. Like people save, I feel like they just don't like to see it go away.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
They don't want to, like, they've been saving for, you know, a home. So now they're like seeing it go away. Just like, that was my boyfriend. He was just like,
I need that money.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's a great investment, babe.
But when you've saved up your money for 12 months or something, watching it accrue and accrue and accrue, and then one day you have to sit there and give somebody $28,000. It's like
start over. Feel like you
whoa.
got to start over. Oh man,
Yeah.
hate that for us.
no, seriously, I literally can't do it. That's why I ain't gonna lie. Even I be real funny about spending my money even at the stores. I can't give somebody that much money cash. Watching you take $4,000 out of my hand, I be
It's
like, no,
crazy.
no, I don't
It's
even want
crazy,
that.
and I'm not seeing the investment right now.
No,
I can see how that can be scary. But
Yeah, so it can be scary, but there are ways around it, right? Like planning, right? Preparing for that big investment, knowing that, hey, I'm going to save enough to buy this home and then still have some money left over to play and rebuild, especially if you're doing the construction, you know? So
I think we gotta. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think we have to debunk that whole myth of 20% down, right?
Yeah.
Because I think when I have a lot of clients come to me like, oh, I've been saving, but not enough. And I've had clients on the high end come in like, I only have $30,000. Well, babe, you're only getting approved for $250 anyway. So you are well beyond the scope of it. But I think people think that you have to have this excess amount of money when that's not necessarily the case. And then I think on the lower end, some people are like, oh, I haven't saved up enough money. But again, this is a buyer's market. We are getting seller paid closing costs. We're getting lender paid closing costs. I'll even pay. No, I'm just playing. I'm not playing y'all closing costs. But seriously, like buyers can truly have their way. So even if you are on the low end of savings, like it's still room for you to be able to purchase.
Yeah. I always say savings are important. Like, I feel like even if you do utilize builder closing costs, if you do utilize seller incentives, you still want to have money in your bank account.
Absolutely.
Because upfront costs are not your only expenses. You have to move into this house. You have to furnish this house to make it comfortable. Things can come up in the house. You never know. Savings are important. I think even if you're not going to spend it up front, I still tell all of my buyers at least try to have that 7% of whatever your desired sales price is. And even if you don't utilize it, it feels better to walk into the home and still have something in your pocket versus you only having $5,000 saved. Now you don't spend the $5,000. Now you're eating oodles and noodles. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We don't want to do that. You know?
I completely agree.
Go ahead.
I think so many people want to obtain home ownership so bad that they're willing to like go broke over it. That's not a smart investment.
And they want to do it for Instagram if we be
right. You want to take
honest.
a photo on the kitchen island. I get it. It's
You
nice.
can do that in your apartment. Sis.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, this is an investment. You want to make a smart and well-informed investment. It doesn't make sense for you to purchase a home and you have no savings. I can't tell you how many people reach out to me and they're like, I have $1,000.
Oh man.
Right.
I can't help you. What are we? You can't even do rent.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, honestly, even if you do use like 0% down or all these like creative financing that they have, that's great. But for instance, one of my last clients, he did a down payment assistance program. They gave him, I want to say $11,000.
Love that for him.
He still had to come out of pocket $7,000. So you still have to have those savings. Don't get us wrong. Of course, there's options out there for you, but you don't do it.
That money not free.
Don't do it.
Okay.
You gonna have to pay that back.
We gonna
some
do it
way,
all.
somehow.
In some instances, no.
Yeah, not all, but you have to find those great programs.
Because
You know I'm
based on a lot of
BPA-K.
things.
I hate it.
Because ain't no money free. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
You know?
So getting a budget, I feel like budgeting on a monthly basis for a period of time is gonna help really, really, helping you make that decision without you having that feeling of being scared of going broke.
Right.
And
Setting
the
you up for
lenders,
success.
the lenders require you to have a little bit of cushion in your account anyway when you close. So it's important.
Financial literacy, very important here, people.
Yes.
Buying a home is all fun and all, and the idea is great, but you really, really have to be disciplined.
You ain't grown till you own a home.
Yeah,
I'm
you ain't
telling
grown.
you, period.
We some grown women in this room.
You ain't grown until you look up and there's water coming out your ceiling and you can't call the maintenance people.
No, y'all. I literally had one of the pipes or something it didn't bust, but like there was like a loose screw. It had water like flowing all throughout my community, y'all. I thought it was everybody, but it was just us. My first major.
Oh, girl.
Lord. How did you
I had a leak. Like,
you had a leak?
Oh, that's all I had. Home, I'm like,
no. I would literally be pissed. That's why you need to get home warranty.
Okay, that's exactly what I called. Well, I called my dad first, and then I called the home warranty. Hey, Dad.
Shout out to AHS.
Okay.
No, seriously.
So that was good. That was another one that we needed to address. The next one is credit. I feel like we kind of have those conversations like
often. You know what you need,
and we have to keep having them because it's gonna be a reoccurring topic.
Yeah, for sure. 580 and above.
And we here to do just that.
Yeah,
you don't need an 800 credit score to purchase a home. We would love it if you did.
Great, right? Like you would be going.
It would be great. You don't need an 800 credit score to purchase, but we would love it if you did. But if you do have as low as a 580, for me, if it's like an extreme, I can't even get the word out. If it's just like a crazy circumstance and you have a 580, I'm okay with pushing that through. But if you come to me with a 580 and we got a little bit of time, I'm going to send you to the credit repair specialist so that we can get you to where you need to be. But it is possible. Like, you don't have to have these outlandish scores just to qualify to purchase a home. And I think a lot of people, you know, they call me like, well, I'm only at a 682. And I'm like, girl, you're better than my last 3 deals. Like, yeah, exactly. So let that go.
That's true. That's true. A lot of people want to be like, I want to be at a 700 to be able to purchase. But it's fine. You'll be fine. Because a lot of people think that the mortgage inquiry is going to take down their credit score like 50, 100 points, which is not true.
That's insane.
And I think it's a really big difference. Let's be really honest here. If you have a 680 and a 700, y'all like payments, interest rates, it's really not going to be that far off. You're going to spend the next 6 months trying to get 20 points for $13, 0.1 lower interest rate. Like, let that hurt go, sis. Like,
let it go, because you're gonna miss out on these deals that's going on within 6 months.
No, seriously.
Right.
Seriously.
So credit score, definitely keep in tab with that, and definitely if you're not sure and you want a lender to look at your file without even, I know they're like, can you do a soft pull? The lender kind of has to do a kind of hard pull because they need to see everything.
Kinda, y'all lie. Like, we need a hard pull.
Yeah, like we need a hard pull
to see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, because they need to see the history, things that a soft pull will not be able to.
I'm glad you mentioned history too, because also you can't get approved if you have like late payments recently on your like credit cards or something. That's something that a lot of people may not know. So if you missed a payment or two within the last year, you most likely won't get approved, but you might want to consult with the lender first.
Close the account.
Yeah.
Pay your bills on time.
Okay, that part too. First, but immediately after, close that account and let's just keep it pushing.
Yeah, especially if you have a bankruptcy.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
That's more.
Oh yeah,
let's get deep. We deep in here.
Yeah.
So make sure. Yeah, I don't
go to church in here every time. I'm telling y'all, we literally be in the church.
And then the last fear, which is they don't want to make the wrong choice.
Oh,
they don't want to pick the wrong house.
Man. It's okay. You're not gonna make the wrong choice though.
No, I'm gonna tell you the only way you will. Well, one of the only ways you will always make the wrong choice on buying a home if you allow the person who is not paying your mortgage to make that decision for you. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Okay,
say that.
You're gonna make the wrong choice when you allow somebody who's not paying your mortgage make that decision for you. I'm sure when your parent comes to visit, they like being near Lenox Mall. I'm sure your little sister wants you to live out by Six Flags. None of that stuff really matters when it comes down to the home that you're going to be responsible for paying for. You have to make a decision based off of what your head and your heart says as opposed to the people who, again, are not paying your mortgage. I digress.
And what's the wrong choice in a home? I think almost any home is a great investment.
No.
I mean, unless obviously if the home is
I've had
wrong
about to fall apart.
That's different if it's falling apart. We wouldn't even let that happen.
It's just like somebody swaying you into it. I'll give you a very good example. I feel like with couples.
Okay.
Especially, and don't fight me for real, because this is how I feel, y'all. Those couples where I feel like it's one partner that really, really wants it, and the other one not necessarily. And so you as a realtor, you know, we're looking at y'all and y'all eyes when y'all make a decision. And I'm looking at said partner, and they like,
you could tell they don't like it.
I can tell you really don't like it. It's just like, regardless of the situation, you're the one who's going on this deed. You're the one going on this loan. You're the one that's going to be responsible. If you not like, this is the one. We always talk about this, but it's a feeling you get when you walk into the home.
I get the feeling too.
You get it. I get it from my clients sometimes. So you will know. And if you go off of that, go off of someone else's feeling, you're going to make the wrong choice every time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like buyers also have to be aware of those pushy realtors. There's some realtors who they want to sell a house so bad. Every house you go to, they'll be like, this the one. This the one. This and try to sell it to you. And then you're probably like, is this the one? But it's not really the one. Like, be sure that you're working with somebody who literally wants the best for you, because you have some greedy realtors out there, honestly and truly. Not
and
us,
I am not that. Yeah,
money cannot move you. If money move your realtor, you need to move realtors.
Yeah.
And I mean,
no, but it's really bad for business, right? Because
Yeah.
the person's gonna go in and they have a thing called buyer's remorse.
Okay.
And that's something I never want my clients. Right.
And that turns into a whole legal issue at that point. It can. I feel like the wrong choice can only be if you're purchasing a home and you know you can't afford it.
Yep.
Or, I mean, I guess maybe if you just don't like the location and the size, because that's the only thing you can't change in a home.
Yeah.
Is that you can technically change the size if you add on to it. But if you don't like the location, like, what else could be wrong about a house that would make it wrong? At the end of the day,
depreciating.
Yeah, I was just about to say, at the end of the day, it should be an investment. So if it's not making you money in the long run, then I understand that. But
y'all know I love a quotable. If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
It's true.
And I'm going back to River because I've been shopping with a couple all week. And the husband comes in a home. He loves the home, right? But the wife hasn't, she hasn't arrived to the showing yet. He looked at the home and said, oh my God, this is so good, but she's not going to like it. I said, no. I said, no.
You knew too?
Yeah. And I was like, no, she's not going to like it. He was like, yeah. She came in, she was like, what is this? I was like, exactly. So, of course, you have to be in the same accord, especially if you're buying this with your partner, and kind of sleep on it. I kind of feel it. And I was like, you guys discuss it on your way home and let me know.
That's how
it was with my mom. I kind of forced myself to like this one house because they had like a basketball court in the community. I was like, oh, he loved that. And the house was like, it was doable. We could work with it. I was acting like I love it. We got to start. He was like, I didn't like that house.
Like that.
I was like, oh, okay. I was trying to put it on for you, make sure but we ended up liking the same exact house, but like I feel that
because that would turn into couples remorse. If
okay.
y'all both not on.
And then I'd be like, I want this house because it got a basketball court.
Now y'all gotta sell it and split the proceeds.
Oh God! Look, watch the last episode to see all your options. If that's the thing.
Right.
Oh my God. All right, you guys. So you guys have heard us talk about all the fears we've heard about and how you can kind of walk through them, right? And if you do want more advice on how to get through these fears and how to be more prepared, because it all has to do with preparation, how to be more prepared to buy a home in 2023, do feel free to reach one of us at realtalkatlpod@gmail.com so we can make sure we answer all of your questions and, do what we do best, which is
sell houses.
Yeah,
make you become a homeowner in 2023.
Exactly. So this is a perfect segue into our question of the day.
Okay,
Ashley Lorraine. Yes. So if this is your first time tuning in, we have this segment called the Question of the Day, where we take questions from our audience. You can submit your questions on Instagram at realtalkatlanta or via email, like Nika said, at realtalkatlpod@gmail.com. So for today's question, since we're already on this topic, I wanted to circle back to what someone asked. What is one piece of advice we all have for someone looking to buy a home in 2023?
I would say buy the home when you are ready to buy the home. Don't let outside influences, family, social media, your boyfriend, girlfriend, and don't try to rush the process just because you're just itching to go into the house. Take your time and make the decision when it's truly best for you.
Good.
For me based on my experience right now, is what I'm noticing is for some people, buying a house is very anxious, especially when we go under contract. So whenever you get to that step with your realtor or one of us, make sure that you really take our advice. Take our direction. Trust us. Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Trust us. Trust your realtor that they are knowledgeable and they know what they're doing, because then you're going to psych yourself out of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I would say my one tip for people wanting to purchase in 2023 is don't let one imperfection in the process deter you from the process in general, right? Everybody's home shopping experience, home buying process, it's just not the same. I've had clients find the first house and it's the one they love and they're in it forever. I have people who find a house, it goes under contract, they lose it. We do it 10 times, but they end up where they need to be. There is never going to be a perfect process for everybody. And if you let one small bump in the road stop you, you'll never become a homeowner. Like the pathway to greatness is not linear. It's a little bumpy.
I love that.
I love that.
Quote queen.
Right.
Put on the shirt.
Put on a shirt for real.
My piece of advice would be, I think 2023, at least for me, is a year of like no excuses.
Period.
I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't be able to get what you want. And so if you know that you want to purchase a home or become a homeowner in 2023, then make that happen. I think you need to prepare, maybe finish watching this episode or rewind it, go back through the fears.
We have a couple episodes.
Yeah, there is absolutely nothing for you to be scared of. I know, obviously, if this is like your first home, that's a scary process if you've never been through it before. But as long as you have a guidance from like one of us or a knowledgeable realtor, you'll be fine.
Period. I love that. I love all of that.
I know.
Look,
That was really good.
Look, I'm ready to buy again.
Okay. I'm ready to go shopping.
I love that.
Oh, that
I
was
hope we
so
help
good.
them overcome their fears.
I know.
And if you're still scared, it's just not your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Call one of us. We can talk a little bit more.
Right.
Well, guys, thank you again for tuning in to Real Talk Atlanta. We are excited for you, you know, to get over your fears and jump into homeownership in 2023.
The year of no excuses.
No champagne, but cheers.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.